Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. I want to bring you a storyline that's not a very good storyline today. There was a tragic triple homicide here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And at the time when I had got the information, I had no idea that I knew one of the victims, that I hung with one of the victims at one time years ago because they didn't have information given to the public because naturally they have to notify the kin first before giving names out to the public. And this is a story that is baffling to me, and I don't understand what happened. I don't know all the dynamics and all the people who knew of each other, but this is a young lady who I hung around with years ago. It's been probably about 7.5 or so years ago that I was around her, and now she is no longer living. And this is the said information by Channel 10 News. KPD, suspect in custody after shooting and killing Knoxville mother, daughter, and roommate. When officers arrived, they said a woman was lying in the road and died on the scene. Police said it appears she had been shot multiple times. The Knoxville Police Department has launched a homicide investigation after 3 women were killed early Sunday, they said. KPD said that the first victim in the triple homicide was found in the area of Division Street and Liberty Street around 4:38 a.m. When officers arrived, they said a woman was lying in the road and died on the scene. Police said it appears she had been shot multiple times. According to police, then they made their way into a home into the 6600 block of Truesdale Road and found 2 more women who had been shot to death. KPD identified the Division Street victim as 29-year-old Juliana White, and the 2 others inside the home is Mildred Blackwell, 55, and Barbara Rogers, 57. All 3 were residents of Knoxville. KPD said the victims and suspect were known to each other. KPD said White was Blackwell's daughter and Rogers was Blackwell's roommate. Okay. Interesting. The suspect, Desmond Rhea, 24, was found at a residence on Burberry Lane and taken into custody without incident around 4 p.m. According to KPD, charges are pending. According to court records, Rhea faced other charges in 2018. Officers spoke with the woman who said Rhea hit her in the face and took her phone away, keeping her from calling 911. Rhea was charged with interference with emergency calls. According to court records, Rhea was booked with the interference charge on March 9, 2020. According to KPD, anyone who has information is urged to call the KPD Crime and Drug Hotline at 865-215-7212. This is Channel 10 News. Now the update story. Victim's son finds forgiveness for the man accused in a Knoxville triple murder. In this said article, you will see an interview of Miss Barbara Rogers' son, who was a roommate of Mildred. Millie is the name that I knew her by. Knoxville police are still investigating why 3 women were gunned down over the weekend. One of them was Tyler Trotter's mother. I miss my mom, he said. She was a good mom, a caring mom, one who loved spending time with her grandchildren, who brought her so much joy. Trotter got the news that his mother, Barbara Rogers, 57, was killed in her home while he was driving. His kids were in the car. I didn't say anything because I didn't want the kids to know the details that I had just heard, he remembered. The details, according to KPD, are that Rogers was one of 3 women found dead Sunday morning. She and her roommate, 55-year-old Mildred Blackwell, were shot in their home on Truesdale Road. Blackwell's daughter, 29-year-old Juliana White, was found shot to death on Division Street. The way that it happened was really unexpected, he said, so it's like you just don't necessarily understand these things. So it's kind of difficult to wrap your mind around why something like this would happen. Police have a suspect in the shootings in custody. Desmond Rhea, 24, was arrested less than 12 hours after the murders. Investigators have said Rhea and the victims were known to each other but haven't released a motive. Trotter doesn't think it was random. It looks like to me, a lot of it reminds me of a life that I used to be involved in. And so I understand that there are different rules in those lifestyles, and it's evil, and there's evil in the world, he said. Somehow, despite his grief, Trotter doesn't feel anger towards the man police believe killed his mother and her friends. When I think about everything that I've been forgiven for, and I think about everything that God has done in my life, God removes the hate and the anger and fear. There's no fear, there's just love, he said. Trotter said he hopes that Rhea will find God to feel that same peace that he feels. And I have no desire to see or retaliation. I have a desire to see him in heaven, to see him saved, to see him forgiven, to see him testify about how good God is. That's my desire, he said. Trotter said he knows not everyone would feel the same way in his situation, but he hopes he can be an example. I love my mom. I still love my mom. She was special to me. So if I'm able to say the things that I'm saying, it should be evidence that God is real, he said. Trotter said he plans to organize a public and private memorial for all three women because he knows the community has been impacted by this. And that is the said information by 10 News NBC. This is horrific, this storyline. When I was doing, my cousin sent me the article. And of course, when the article had the person's head, cut in the picture. So I really couldn't tell what the person looked like, who I thought may be my, old friend, old acquaintance. But when I opened it up, I saw that it was Millie in that photo, and I was just stunned. And I was going through Facebook and Facebook friends to make sure it was her, but she's lost a lot of weight, so she looks entirely different than the photo that's in this article. And that's why I, at first, didn't recognize her when I went to Facebook, because that's where I looked first before opening the article and paying attention to the said picture. But listening to this son's testimony, and he also gives an interview with the news, he blatantly says that it resembles a lifestyle that he once knew. And in that interview with Channel 10 News, he does give account that he once was an addict. Now, he doesn't go into detail in this article why he said that, nor the interview with Channel 10 News, but one would speculate it could be drug related. I didn't want to have to say that, on this video, but that's what I thought in my mind before I even knew who the victims were, because I thought two people shot at this house, one found in the street. This doesn't sound right. It sounds real etchy. And now listening to this young man give his testimony that he was once an addict, and that seeing, I guess, this scenario reminds him of that lifestyle. I'm assuming he means, a lifestyle of using narcotics. So where could I take it? But because these are his words. And that leads one to think, were these people involved in drugs? What was really going on? And I don't want to say too much because I feel like I've already said enough, but I'm just relaying what he said, because you're going to come to your own conclusions and speculations anyway once you, read the article again and watch his interview, and you will wonder, why did this young African-American male shoot three white women? All women were Caucasian. Two were older, in their mid-50s to late 50s. My friend Mildred, old friend, 55, and Miss Barbara was 57. The daughter of Mildred was 29, and that's the one that was found at another location off of on Division Street. Why she was over there, why he killed her over there, I don't know. But as you see, they're stating the suspect knows all three victims. And why he chose to kill all those women, I have no idea. I will keep you abreast on this situation. But one thing I want to say personally, and this is to the women, due to the fact that this is a story about three deceased women. You don't know people. And sometimes in getting to know people, you may see signs that they are not proper, that they are not right. And whether you are engaging in certain activities that are not above par, legal, whatever, you know the chances of something jumping off. It doesn't have to mean death, but it could mean something negative or something bad. You don't know people. And that's my message to the women today. It's that you can run around with people, laugh and talk with people, engage with people, have relationships with people, courtship, sex, whatever it may be. but it does not mean you fully know people. And the fact that they knew this guy, I'm assuming because of his age, he was friends with Millie's daughter, because Millie's daughter was 29 and this young man is 24. Perhaps they were the ones who were friends, and maybe he came around the home visiting the daughter. I don't know. I don't know what other, like I said, interactions the other two ladies had with the suspect. I'm just assuming. I cannot say. But either way, this is bad business. And bad is not even, it's barely touching it. Why did this young man go into a home and kill two women and then have this girl gunned down and left her in the road? They found her in the road. So I'm assuming that he was in the car with her. Or she was in the car with him. What in the hell happened at that house? Were they all in the house together? All the victims? Something jumped off, something was said, somebody had an argument, disagreement. Was it a robbery attempt? Was it a robbery? Did he get what he wanted from the women, killed the two, then put the young lady, the 29-year-old Juliana, in his car, then drove her off, shot her, and then disposed of her in the street? I don't know. But it's looking kind of like they were in a car together, the 29-year-old young lady, Millie's daughter, and he just dumped her out like trash. Did he feel like these people had done something to him? And were they engaging in unsavory activity? I do not know. But when I get the said information, I will bring it to you. But I want women to know that you do not know people. You have to be very careful the people you partake with, people you date, people you bring into your home. Because when I look at this photo of him, he ain't no morning star, and he doesn't look above par, if you get my drift. He isn't decent looking. He's unkempt. Nappy hair, all of that. I'm saying it. I don't care. I'm baffled. I'm stunned. I'm shocked. Every word you can think of, that's what I'm feeling right now, because I can't believe somebody I knew once, hung around once, used to go out. We used to go out dancing and everything on the weekends together. That's how I met her. And now she is a story in the news, and now a story on my YouTube channel. I'm stunned. But ladies, please, if you don't hear anything I say to you today, please be careful of the people you deal with. Whether you know them a while, you've known them briefly, you just met them, however, whenever you met them, whatever reasons you're dealing with them, know that you do not fully know people. You do not know the mindset of people, and anything can jump off at a moment's notice. That you don't have friends. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your lover, your boyfriend, your husband, your brother, your sister, your cousin, neighbor, co-worker. You get my drift. You don't know anybody. And I'm telling you, I never thought I would see the day I would be discussing somebody that I knew of on this channel that was gunned down in a home alongside another lady and then another one who's her daughter dumped off into the street like garbage. Please be careful. Please be careful of the people you meet out here, because you don't want to end up a news story, a Dateline story. Just be careful, please. Ladies, be careful of the company you keep. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate my new subscribers, my loyal friends, the people who have supported me in the past recent months. And I value some of you all out there who I jive with pretty well. I thank you for everything. And please keep these victims in your prayers. I'm waiting to get information on a memorial, and I will bring you that said update when I get information. It will be a sad day. because it's a sad day already. But 3 people gone at the same time, that's a lot to digest. But I will give you that said information. Thanks for listening. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Condolences and prayers to Millie, her daughter, Miss Barbara, and all the families. I'm out of here. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.